There are three key different disciplines between a practicing Catholic and a Catholic who is living out discipleship in their lives. And I believe that parish leaders and key volunteers don't take enough time to really reflect on these differences and see how they're part of the reason why our parishes stay stuck, and also the big gap between a practicing Catholic and a Catholic who's living out discipleship. So I'm going to quickly share these three and then also share two practical steps that you can take to start help fostering discipleship at your parish. So the first discipline is attendance versus the discipline of attention. Now, a practicing Catholic, hear me right when I say this, is somebody who really is attending out of obligation. And you can find so many reports with Pew Research or the Cara Foundation that speaks about how practicing Catholics really attend more out of obligation than really a desire for an encounter with God. A disciple, though, has a discipline of attention. They desire to be taught by their teacher. We desire to learn from Jesus and imitate him in our lives. There's a great desire to really encounter Jesus each and every day, which leads to the second discipline, which is daily versus weekly. A disciple is someone who desires each and every day to reflect on the gospel message, to have time of reflective prayer, to go to mass or adoration, really growing in their relationship with Jesus Christ and encountering him every day. A practicing Catholic has the discipline of going to weekly mass. And don't get me wrong, again, I honor those people who are doing that. But oftentimes when I'm speaking with people at parishes, I say this in a very serious way. Imagine if I married my wife and I said, I'm so glad that we've been married in this covenant love. However, I'm only going to be able to spend 1 hour a week with you. That's it, on one day. And sometimes it may only be twice a month. Now, that's not going to lead to a deep, meaningful relationship. In fact, that's probably not going to last very long. So the third discipline is maintenance and mission. A Catholic who's living out discipleship in their lives really desires to be mission focused, desires to help other people grow closer to God, come to know God by witnessing the way in which their relationship with Jesus Christ impacts them. They share the healing that's happened, the compassion that they've experienced, the mercy, all the things that they experience in their relationship. They desire to share that with others to draw people into a relationship with God. That's mission. A practicing Catholic desires to maintain that relationship. And again, it just comes back to an obligation and just really maintaining what they have as a Catholic. And God desires so much more for us than just maintaining the relationship. So two practical suggestions I have. The first is we really need to be talking more about discipleship. Now, I don't mean have discipleship become a buzzword at your parish. That happens too much, and this is not what I mean. What I mean is we really should be during the homilies and through the bulletins, and I encourage people to be shooting videos at the parish, really talking about what discipleship means for our lives, how we are all called to be disciples, and what does that look like? There are so many people out there who just need help understanding what does discipleship mean for my life? And that's part of what this Catholics Living Discipleship channel is about, and the podcast is about, is helping people to understand how do we live out discipleship. The second is, And I think most of you understand the importance of this is gather people and allow them to start talking about their journey with God. Have them talk about what it means to encounter Jesus in their lives and the way in which they're doing it, and honor people where they are at, but journey together, gather and really share that. Not just have Bible study or adult faith formation, but really gather and share with one another, encourage one another, walk with one another in this journey so that it helps people to grow in their journey of discipleship. So if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you know somebody who could benefit from it, share it. And I also encourage you to subscribe to the channel, because Catholics Live in Discipleship is about helping others to understand how we're living out discipleship in our lives. Well, thanks for listening, and God bless.